Hey, this is Matthew, and welcome back to Nerd News Today. It's time for an action figure review, because when isn't it that time here on Nerd News Today? But today, for a change of pace, it's an anime action figure review. That's right, today we have here from Bandai, from their Anime Heroes line, we're going to be taking a look at Kakashi Sensei from Naruto Shippuden. Now heads up, I am not an expert on Naruto whatsoever. I actually have barely watched the series. I'm very much still a noob. In terms of the manga, I've never read it. In terms of the anime, I've watched a little bit of it, but I never got too deep into it. And really same with Shippuden. I'm aware of it, I've seen some things that happen, but never really got super invested into it. But that could change now because, you know, toys tend to have that effect on me if they're really, really good. And I have some high hopes for this figure here. So this is from Bandai, again, as we mentioned, as part of their Anime Heroes line. The box has this nice window so you can see the figure inside, which also has a small, slim cut on this side over here. They've got a nice picture of Kakashi over there as well. The top of it has the Anime Heroes logo. This side again, just some Japanese kanji there. And on the back, we get to see who else is in this wave of Naruto-centric figures. So again, this wave is based on characters' appearances from Shippuden. So we've got Kakashi, Naruto himself, and Sasuke. And I have to say, I actually really enjoy the colors on this packaging here. I like orange, of course, as you guys might know, and it's a really good shade of orange here. Overall, pretty simple color packaging, but really sharp, dynamic design that is not very complicated, not too complex. What you see is what you get, but it just looks really sharp. That's kind of the thing I like about it. It looks very sharp. And it kind of has this almost anime energy feel to it, so I like that about it. But that's enough talk about the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Kakashi out of the box. All right, and here is our Kakashi out of the packaging. And I gotta say, he looks pretty great. Now again, I'm not super familiar with the anime, but I'm familiar enough with the character. He's probably my favorite in the series besides Rock Lee. And everything about him looks pretty show accurate from as far as what I can remember and as far as what I've seen. And of course, we gotta talk about that face first. And luckily, we don't really need to talk a lot about likeness because most of that face is obscured by his mask. And he's actually hiding his Sharingan eye with the other side of that mask there. But we do have a really nice look at some of his hair, and really, as far as capturing the cartoon, I think they've got it, and that's one thing you can say about Bandai. They are very, very good at capturing anime likenesses. In my opinion, when it comes to anime figures in particular, they either totally nail it, or they will totally botch it. And this is from someone who's grown up in the 90s, where you didn't really have a ton of anime-centric figures in the country, and usually it was Bandai who made anything you got, and they were always pretty much dead on. I mean, there's been other companies that have tried, I don't think they've really captured it, but Bandai has always nailed it. And this is no exception. The face looks really good. The hair looks really cool, really fun, nice hair. Pointy as well. Good shape to it, good body of hair. Outfit as well is also, I'd say, pretty darn spot on, or at the very least close to it. And from what I can tell, all the elements that are important to his outfit are completely here. And a lot of really cool details. You got the spirals on his outfit, you got this pouch on his back, he's even got the pockets. I'm sure one of these has whatever romance manga he's reading this week. Just a really cool body on the figure, really cool look to it, good design. One of the things I also have liked about Bandai figures is they tend to always have this like really glossy sheen. And you know, it kind of adds a nice layer of protection as well for younger kids who are gonna be really playing with these things. But even then, it just makes it stand out and pop really nicely too, because not all figures have this really good gloss to it. And the other thing about this gloss layer is that it also adds kind of some uniformity to the look. You know, with a lot of figures you'll see, there's sometimes two tones to them. And that's something I could say that with Bandai in particular, I've never had to worry about two-tone paint jobs in their figures. They're always very even, very uniform. And Kakashi here is another good example of that. You can see that pretty much the paint just looks completely even all the way through. No complaints there about it whatsoever. Another really great thing about Bandai, and again, I haven't really looked at too many Bandai figures on this channel, but I grew up with a few of the Ultimate Muscle figures when those came out, and those were pretty amazing figures, all things considered. And they put a pretty good favor in my mind of those toys. And looking at these again, they've continued to do that same kind of greatness. And one of the things I loved about them the most was articulation. Kakashi here has a little bit of problem moving his head left and right just because he has this collar in the way. But otherwise, I mean, you've got pretty good range of motion as far as up and down and a little bit of left and right. No, actually, I loosened up a little more and turn more so. But yeah, you've got ball jointed shoulders. You've got bicep swivel. You have double jointed elbows. I just broke Kakashi's arm. But you have double jointed elbows here so you can get really close to his face with both arms, which is pretty darn cool in my opinion. We have rotating wrists, which are ball jointed also. You can see that right there. The waist does turn on a ball joint, left and right. We've got great flexibility on the legs. You can see here, get some pretty high kicks out of this as well. There is no thigh swivel joint, but that's not really stopping him from doing a great move because He's got these, again, a really nice T-hinge crotch that lets him really move around. And you can see that's also got a little bit of movement in it. So you can loosen him up from his body, tighten it up. Again, just adds a nice range of motion. There you go. He has a double jointed knee. So again, you can get some super duper flexibility with that. There's no boot swivel, but we do have fully articulated ankle joint with a ball joint as well. So again, really great range of motion. I mean, look at that right there. I'd say that's pretty darn good. So as we saw in the packaging, Kakashi comes with a few accessories here. One of them is this, which, as we saw in the back of the box, it was actually shown with Sasuke and not Kakashi Sensei. So, you know, I don't know if it actually belongs with him in this case, but it's here and it does fit in his hand, and it's a really cool looking blue pile of energy or goo or some kind of jutsu related thing. Beats me, but it looks good. In addition to that blue orby thing, Kakashi also has 4 additional hands. So you can see here he's got, again, this hand that's, I guess, meant to hold that energy. He's got this finger pointy one here so you could do jutsu poses. And he has a variety of other hands with similar fingers. And we have, again, that same one here just off for the other hand. We've got these 2 hands that you can swap out there so you can hold on to things. And then we have the alternate version of what is currently on his right hand there, which is this hand. So again, you can have him in a lot of different poses, lots of cool different hands. That's very neat they threw those in there. To me, the one thing that they missed with this figure is an alternate head. I would have liked to have had another head that actually has Kakashi with the Sharingan. Now, I don't know if there is a different Kakashi figure based on the original Naruto anime that has it, but I feel like this one here would have benefited greatly from having that. And especially because, you know, you're throwing in spare hands, and he is otherwise a little accessory light. So I feel like the spare head would have really made this figure like a perfect 10, because right now, again, not really even knowing a ton about the anime, but just loving a good figure, this is pretty darn great. I mean, this is tough to beat for the price point as well. This has got some amazing articulation, good size to it. Everything about it, I'm really in love with. And again, it kind of makes me want to watch the anime or read the manga a little bit. So, you know, job very, very well done overall here, Bandai. I just wouldn't have minded a spare head just to give us the Sharingan, because what is Sasuke without that? Besides a very good, accomplished ninja who loves reading romance mangas. So if you're a Naruto fan, this is a definite, absolute must-have. I cannot stress that enough. And this is coming from someone who isn't really a fan of the anime at all. But I think this is a really spectacular figure, really great addition to your collection, super affordable as well. You know, when you consider it, you can find like probably Figmas or other Japanese toys of this character that are triple the price. I'd say this is like a total must-have to get, because this nails every single thing you need about the character. And again, that affordability is what's great too. But not only for collectors, it's also great for little kids who want to play, because you've got with Bandai tons of articulation, because they've always been the company that I think from Japan has been the best at doing that, and other companies have then copied and improved upon. But still, at the end of the day, Bandai at their price point is pretty great all around. And we're talking again, appearance, articulation, super clean paint job, just everything top to bottom. These are really great figures, and yeah, I definitely recommend looking for them. So on that note, I'm Matthew. Thanks for watching this video today. If you're new here, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to see all the other cool content that we do here. Thanks for watching Nerd News today, and we'll see you guys next time.